nugget. Someone's here.
Oh, no.
Oh,
How long is your call?
okay. 1 hour.
Hour.
Yes, I love you so much. Hi, everybody. I'm just gonna start because I have something that I want to say that I was just kind of talking the other day about, and now it slipped my mind. But welcome to the action hour in the middle of the day. We're all here feeling funky fresh. We love middle of the day, whether you're in your pajamas or whether you are fresh. We're so excited you're here. It's about working the business. I lost the piece that I wanted to tell you. So maybe if Tabitha, can you remind me what you just said?
I feel fresh.
I remember. Okay, that's it. I just needed you to say fresh again. Okay. So what it was that so I was talking to one of my really great friends who's in leadership and mentorship, and he's been in this space for 20 years. And he was asking me what my working genius was. And this is why it's going to pertain to us in this call in working. And I said, I don't know. What does that mean? And he was laying it out how you take this, and all of us have the skills to do all of these skills in a day. And what we do is we will actually we just put them in our day where we think they go. And sometimes we don't strategize what we need energy for. And here is where this was coming from. So for me, I do not get energy from answering my inbox. I got a woosah before I go in that MFer because I know that I'm going to be given some energy. I'm going to be overcoming objections. I've got to be ready for the space of the inbox. So when I show up there, I have to have energy that's fresh. I got to have fresh energy. If I try to come in my inbox at night, I'll see you tomorrow. I'm not talking. I'll look at a message and be like, remind me to message you tomorrow. And I literally push my phone away because my working genius, I can show up in those spots. But my working genius isn't, I'm going to see if we can mute everyone besides you, Tab, and see if they're, okay, there was like an echo. My working genius isn't like, it's where I can show up energetically when I don't have energy. So for me, I can have zero energy. So I love calls in the evening because my energy morning that's fresh, I need it for the to-do things that do not bring me energy and joy. I can do them, but they're not bringing me energy and joy, right? So when a call comes around, calls in my experience bring me energy and joy. So I can be dead to the world. Like I've done so much today and all these things and homeschooled and single mommed and went to baseball and got groceries and walked my dog, and I'm still in my outfit from yesterday, but I don't care. I'm rocking it. And then I get on, I'm like, right before a call, I'm like, okay, I got to do this call. Like, I don't know how I'm going to pull through. We get on, and all of a sudden, the minute I see you, I'm like, here I am. And my working genius comes up. And so it helps you to see how to put your to-dos in your day of your business. So for me, I have learned that daytime calls are not my jam. Because if I do a daytime call, it's taking away my to-dos, and I'm putting my to-dos at the end of the day, and I'm not going to show up for them good then. I know I have to put the things that are harder for me to do when I have natural energy from being rested and feeling fresh. And then I know where I feel the most passion in this business, I put where I don't have much energy because it naturally gives me energy. So I don't know if that makes sense to you. So maybe for you, like posting and doing reels is the fun part for you. So you get your invites and you get your inbox out of the way in the morning when you can 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And then later you're like, this is the fun part for me. So I don't even need to like pump myself up for this because these are more of my working genius. So I don't know if that kind of helps. I know for me, like we're going to talk about how to work this business, and we're going to work with you today. But for me, I know that I learned early on in this business, in this industry, for me, if I don't get my inbox and if I don't get my invites out earlier in the day, then I'll talk to you tomorrow because my brain won't be there. Right. So that's just kind of a little thing to share. I thought that was really interesting. And now, Tabitha, I just took it like that. Now I'm going to just pass it back to you real quick.
Hey, you know what? Lindsay's here. Hey guys, Lindsay's on.
Hey.
No, I love it. So I think, isn't it funny though how we have just different, like Lindsay and I are very much alike, but we're also different in some ways. And how cool is it that we're all different and we all sort of tick differently, right? Like I can wake up and I can sometimes think, oh dear, like I have all of this that I have to do or want it, not have to do, but I want to do. And it's starting to feel overwhelming. And I've noticed that about myself. And I've noticed when working with other advocates and those running at their business, it's like sometimes you just need to step into this creative space. And it's not creative like as in like, oh, we have to like create something fancy and we have to recreate the wheel, but I mean creative in the way that like you have a voice and your voice is powerful and what you get to share every single day should light you up. And if you're not feeling lit up, like there are many days where I'm like, okay, I don't know what I'm going to tackle first. There's a lot of things. I'm overwhelmed. I don't feel inspirational. I don't feel motivated. I got nothing. Right. So then a lot of times we just stop and we're like, just not going to do it then or what. And that's okay. Sometimes a shift, like go for a walk, create some like movement, energy, shift the energy. But sometimes we have to just like me before this. Okay. I was like, I want to talk about the business. So I got on my stories and I talked about the business and I got fired up. And I felt like if I had a microphone, I would have dropped it. You know what I'm saying? but I didn't. But anyway, but it's like, and then now it's put me in this like energetic vibration of like, okay, like we have a lot to share and we have so much power with this business and with our voice and with this product. But if we just stay stuck, which if you say you're stuck, I talked about this. If you say you're stuck, you're only stuck if you stay there. So just every day we can be stuck, right? But like we have the choice to shift out of that. And I remember I've shared this before probably, but I remember when I was writing my book and I like was writing and writing and writing. And then I took like a few days off or maybe like a week off. And then it was like, ugh, like I don't even know where to start. Like I don't even know where to begin with this. But once I got back into it and I just like put one foot in front of the other and did the one thing, it was like, there it went. Like creative process came in and it took over and I was re-inspired again. And I was like, this is good stuff. Like, and I got excited about what the work that I was doing. And if we can just stay excited about the work we're doing and just reinventing our business, but not in like a stressful way, just in a fun, like I get to create and recreating my business. And what does that look like today? And it's not going to look the same every day. And sometimes you're going to avoid your inbox and other days you're going to like go at it. Like I want to share this with people, right? Because our energy is just different, but we have the power to shift it. So, okay. How's everybody feeling? All right. So
I want everyone really quick before we move forward, drop in the chat. What do you love about this business? Not, I love that I get to share this. I love that it's done this. Not that, like the activities. What activity can you do? Like she just talked about the business in her stories, lit her up. I get on a call like this, lights me up. I love chat, like talking to people. What part do you love? Do you love the social media part? Do you love, like, is there a part that you love? And if not, then how can we make it more fun? Okay, so I just want you to like drop that. And this would be a good journal entry. If you're blanking right now, then this is a deep dive right here that would change your business. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's drop that. And I think that just like setting the intention as we move forward with what we're doing here. Like it's the 24th, yeah. And tomorrow we have like auto ship day. So we're gonna have a lot of things maybe going through. And then guess what? We need to create some stuff because the 26th on, it's all organic growth, right? So this is all what we do from here on out is all going to impact next month for us and create that growth within our business. So let's set our intention for this call and our time together because we have 45 minutes left. And we love to just start these calls with just like some fire and excitement because we want to create some energy for what we're about to do. Because if we're not excited about what we're doing and we're not kind of feeling the intention, then we're just not really kind of aligned. So set your intention. Think about it for about 30 to 40 seconds of like your intention of like this work block and maybe the rest of your day. Maybe that's for you just like a couple things you're like, okay, I want to talk about this on my stories and I want to do this. Like, I think I'm just sharing this actually for accountability. and I don't want to even share this, but I'm going to. I'm going to go live on Facebook today. And I'm going to just talk about, and I don't do this very often. I don't do this enough, but I want to talk about just some stuff. I just want to be real and talk about the products and talk about my story and talk about the business and share it, because I have been having a block. I just want to be transparent because I think it's important for leaders to just be transparent. I've been having a block with the business and I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because, oh, Lindsay, she went away and now she's back. Hey, didn't, hey, I was like, I thought you just turned your camera off. So I was thinking, oh, Lindsay's just got to step away for a minute. And then you came back and I've been talking.
You guys, I have the same sweatshirt on and tank top since last night, and my computer died. I had no clue it was about to die. Just boom. I'm like, so here we go. You don't have to have everything in the world in line.
Nope, sure don't. Laundry's so over. Anyways.
So where are we at?
So I was just talking about setting our intention for this call and kind of the rest of the week with our business. But I was being transparent and saying that I've been having this like block a little bit about the business, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's because I'm kind of like looking at this month as like my comeback month, because I like crumbled and died and burned, and then I'm back. And so I'm kind of looking at it as like my comeback month. And I don't know if I'm just like in my head. So anyway, in order to get out of my head, the only thing I can do is to just be bold and share the things I know. And I know a lot. So why don't I just transfer it? So I'm going to go live today on Facebook. I shared that for accountability. So I want you guys to set your intention for this day and the rest of the month. Let's just think about it, share it below. Like if you're like, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to work on this, or I'm going to get out of my comfort zone about this, or I'm going to whatever. Okay. Eat the frog and do the thing. And let's get fired up together. And then we'll just give a few seconds for you guys to drop that. And then let's just dig into some actual work.
I love that. And while you guys are kind of thinking about that in your intention, you know, something that I really like to dive into every single week with myself is I ask myself, like, how am I intentionally wanting to show up this week? Not just in my business, because all these other things that pull our attention can affect our intention here if we're only setting our intention here. So how am I showing up as a daughter this week? How am I showing up as a granddaughter? How am I showing up to my children? How am I showing up in my home? What are my intentions in my relationship? What are my intentions in my business? What are my intention with my pets? And I literally will say this week, like, I need to call my grandparents. That is an intention of mine. That's important to me. Like, I write down all my intentions. So then I can see, like, Tabitha's like, I need to focus on the business. For me, I'm like, I can enroll. I'm like the opposite of Tabitha. I'm like, I need to sell some products. Like I got the, you know, but, so it's like kind of finding that intention every week. But if I only focus on the intention of one part in my life, that intention will get buried by the other spaces I haven't set intention. So setting intentions as a full thing is how you can really, and then weekly check-ins in that, even daily and nightly. Sometimes I'm a little bit obsessive, but, I need to stop being a big baby. Yes, girl, get messy with it.
Yeah, totally. Just do it messy.
Yes. And you're going to find a rhythm, you guys, and then we can kind of lead this right into the working spot. You guys are going to find a rhythm. For instance, for me, I have a rhythm. If anybody ever wants to say that they don't have time to do anything, I would love to have a little dance with them. Because if you don't know about my story, my family lives in another state. I homeschool my 2 children. I have them 80% of the time. Their dad lives an hour away. They're both in baseball. One's in travel. And I have this business plus a spiritual life coaching business and 8 animals and a home and a partridge in a pear tree. And so I am like all over the place all the time. And I have all the excuses to tell myself that I don't have the time. But instead, I decide to wipe that dirty lens and choose a lens of I have the time. It's just how I choose to create the pockets of time in the life that is already so beautifully full. And so for me, like I have a rhythm. and that rhythm stays the same throughout the week. And then when I get extra energy, I can do the live, like Tab said, or whatever. So my rhythm, just to tell you, is every day I'm getting something up on social media in either a post or a reel that is going to generate people commenting or liking or some sort of whatever. This gives me things to do, because then my rhythm is I'm checking my inbox, I'm responding to comments and stories, and I'm following up with people a couple times a day. The next day, then I'm doing that off the post or the reel before, and it's really just a rhythm. And then when I have the extra nights where I can do calls or the extra times, so sometimes we think it looks like checking the boxes, where another person's rhythm might look like this. And I think this is amazing. They take their power of threes, which we can kind of chat about, and it has all the things that you can do that are literally checking the boxes to build a business. But we know that your intention and your enthusiasm and your energy has to be in these box checks. Otherwise, this checking the boxes don't matter, right? So with this, they simply are like, all right, today I'm going down the list. When I have pockets of time or when I can sit and work, I'm adding new friends, I'm forming some people, I'm inviting some people. That's all I had today. So tomorrow I wake up, where did I leave off? Today I have to do follow-ups, talk about the business opportunity, check in on my customers, check in on my advocates. That's all I have today. Okay, what's the next day? Oh, I'm back to adding friends. They literally take this and use it as a, what did I get done today? Pick up on the next day. So whatever works for you, you just have to find your rhythm. So we're going to work with you today, and your goal is to take what we do, take the how-tos, and then figure out the rhythm that works in your life. And feel free to ask for any of those things. Tabitha, you want to start?
Yeah, so let's just dive into there's a lot of things when we come together to do these. There's a lot of pieces that we could talk about and share, and everybody has different questions. And so we're always happy to answer those. So please put those in the chat. But I think the best thing we can do, and I always say this, but like, let's start with just some like bold action to get started. So let's talk to people. Like, we are humans, we talk to people, we are social creatures. And let's talk about whether and here's where your intention comes in. Maybe you're focusing on products. Like, I've been focusing this entire month on building my PCs. So I've gained a lot of new PCs this month, and that's been my focus. But here I am shifting my energy into the business because that's kind of been lacking. So here we are with our intention. What's the most important thing that we can do to take action right now? I would say that it's either talking to people about the products or the business. Okay, so you get to choose in whatever that looks like for you. Maybe you have some really good things going on. You've done a post. If you haven't done a post in a while and you haven't shown up in a while, that's going to be hard sometimes to create conversations as much. That's why this flows, and that's why we have to be consistently talking, dropping nuggets, dropping truths about the products and the business, because it's always going to be people watching. And then when you go to actually have a conversation with someone, it's not just out of the blue. So whether you're taking maybe you're looking at a post you recently did, and those are a few people that stand out. You're like, all right, I've never talked to them about this. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, hey, like, I just want to ask you, and it's fine if it's the farthest thing from your mind, and maybe you have no interest, but I want to share this with you. Like, have you ever used CBD, heard of Green Compass? Like, I just want to, share it, blah, 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 whatever. And if you guys need some verbiage, we would love to help you with that. Whether that's maybe while I'm talking for a second, Lindsay can drop something in there, or vice versa, we can do that. But just to kind of give you guys, sometimes I think that's another piece, is like, what do I say? And if, a lot of you guys on here aren't newer, but some of you might be newer and you're just a little unsure of yourself, and that's okay too. But I can promise you're going to gain confidence as you just start doing the things. Like, I've done it wrong, and there's no wrong way, but I've done it in a way that I would never do it again, knowing what I know now. But we just are learning together, but we can give you some guidance on how that looks and what that looks like with conversations and navigating through those. So let's set a goal to at least in the next 10 minutes, at least have about 5 conversations with people, if you can, 3 to 5 conversations where maybe you're following up with someone you've already talked to. That's okay. That counts. A follow-up is just another layer and exposure. So that counts. Or maybe you're like, I want to reach out to 3 brand new people today. That would be fantastic. Because if we're not reaching out to brand new people, you're not going to get brand new people into your business. So we just need to be bold in that way. Does that make sense? Yeah, story watchers are good. People who are watching your stories. I feel like even sometimes, like if you do a post, let's say you do a post that's like about your story, and it's about like for me, like I'm always sharing about anxiety and healing myself and what that looks like and all of those things. And maybe it has nothing to do with CBD, but maybe it speaks to a lot of moms and women, right? And in that moment, I could go in and I could kind of just sift through those like people who interacted with that. And I could just be like, hey, they weren't even asking me about the products, but maybe they're needing it. Trust me, people don't come to you. They don't. A lot will, some will after a million exposures, after like 10 or 12 or 20, or I don't know how long, it just depends. But a lot of people will not come to you. But when you ask them, hey, I see you, like, I just wanted to say thank you for the support, or whatever it is that you're thanking them, or, whatever related to my post. And I appreciate you. I just wanted to ask because, I would have never known about Green Compass had Emily Ritzer not messaged me 17 times. Not really. But I would have been like, no, I'm not like, it's not my thing. Like, I don't know. It's my thing, but I didn't want to take 2 seconds to look at it. And so you won't know until you won't know until you ask the question. And so just think about that as you send messages, to just be bold. I know I was like the worst. I was like the worst, honestly. I'm sorry. But here we are.
I was literally like, nah, she's too busy.
I was like, Emily, I was just like, I remember being like, I have not even had a second to watch this video that you sent me. And and you're like, I know, but it's like 2 minutes. And I'm like, and it's just so, like, how pathetic. Like, I couldn't take the time. But anyways, here we are. Persistency wins. Consistency wins.
It all worked out the way it was supposed to.
That's right. That's right. So let's go ahead and set like the timer for 10 minutes and let's dig in. And if you need something, feel free to ask or send a message in the chat.
And I just threw up 2 different options in the chat on how to message you guys. It can be like that, or it can be so much more simple, but make it your own. Do not assume anyone's going to feel a certain way or respond a certain way. I have learned in my life, in my relationships, and in my business that my job is to authentically speak what is on my heart, and however someone receives or however someone responds is on them, and it's not mine to worry about or control, as long as I'm doing my part. So do your part and have fun with it. And there's just 2 examples here, and a way to share it too is for me, if I'm like, dude, where do I even freaking start? Right? Because to be honest, I do have majority of my conversations are people that come to me now, but once upon a time they weren't. And that I still to this day make it a mission about once or twice a week to go look at my story viewers and send messages like this just to the story viewers that I haven't chatted with in a while, or go to people that have liked a post of mine on Facebook from a month ago that had a ton of likes that was about my kids and nothing with the business. However, I can say, hey, I just saw that you recently liked a post on Facebook like a month back. I saw your name. It made me want to connect. Say the rest of what you have to say. So just a couple ways, and then you guys can hop at it. What do we have here? Do your part, don't worry. Yes. What would be a go-to video that we would send them? So I'll send you exactly my things that I send right now. They're in my notes section. After I send somebody, if they would want information, I'm just going to send you, this is if people respond off of like a reel or a post, and then I send them a message saying, hey, I saw your comment. You want information on my wellness regimen, or you want information on the business? And then when they respond, I'm just dropping it hot right here. And then when they say they will watch it, these are the videos that I send, and this is what I say. There you go. I just almost lost us again. So you guys make this easy on yourself. Like we have the boards app. I have a separate boards app for my favorite stuff. You don't need to just utilize the team. I have the team's green team, and then I have my green compass boards app for my favorite things. And then I have a note section for like, help yourself recreate and like make it easier. Help yourself with like, take these things that I just put and put them in a place. Like when you get pictures that we are sharing for you to use in your social media and in your stories, save them to an album. Kind of create those spaces that you can easily work from later. I think my children are wrestling. I'll be right back. You guys want to take about 1 more minute? Okay, so we'll kind of move on to the next thing here. And the thing that I want to say is like, when you sit down, if you only have like 20, 30 minutes, or you're like powering through some stuff that you're like, this is my focused work time, you really want to batch what are those income producing activities. Okay. So an income producing activity, number one, is going to be inviting to the business or the opportunity, like Tabitha just said. It's also going to be creating the content for the business or the opportunity. I usually do a post or a reel somewhere else in the day, and my batched time of like my work, I'm supposed to be not interrupted. The kids go to a private school once a week and they're home at 0 and 6. So that's why we're here and interrupted. But normally this is an uninterrupted time. And in that time, I'm going to do the things I can't do while I'm multitasking. I can, but it wouldn't be the best. So number one is going to be your invites and to the business and to the products, your content, if that's something you want to batch there too. And then the other things for me, you guys, and this is a big one, and I don't think people realize how much this matters, is being social on social media. So this is something I struggle with, because I'll be the person to tell you, I am not I've worked in social media for 10 years. I don't scroll. I rarely watch other people's stories, and I do not care to do it. I get on social media, I do my job, and I get out. I don't care. I don't get pulled in, not at all. So people like want to shoot the shit with me sometimes. And I'm like, I'm not here for that. I'm here for business. Like, that's just how I am. I have to force myself to be social on social media, because guess what your algorithm depends on? Not on your hashtags, not on commenting under your stuff, like not on, like that stuff helps, right? That stuff can help. But being social on social media, when you're social on social media because you're commenting on other people's stuff, you're sharing other people's stories, you're sharing other people's posts into your stories. If you guys watch my stories, you'll see I share a lot of random people's stuff sometimes, quotes and things. That increases your algorithm, because you're being social on social media. You're sharing other people. You're not just about yourself. Social media, they're like, okay, you're social. You're commenting on other people's stuff. You're in your inbox. The amount of messages you have going out in your inbox and coming back increases your algorithm, increases the views that people see. If you're just posting and you're not in your inbox, maybe 10 people will see your post. All of these things matter. So being social on social media is an income producing activity, but you have to have mega boundaries around it. My people who get pulled in, like mega boundaries. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to be social on social media, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it via Instagram. And this is how I get my algorithm up, typically before or after. I might do this twice, after I post something that I really want to be seen, or just because I feel like I haven't really been doing much, let's boost this. So I'll go on Instagram, open it up, or Facebook. You can do it on Facebook too. I just do it on Instagram, which is funny because majority of my stuff is like almost everything comes off Facebook. Minimal comes off Instagram for me. But anyway, so I will refresh the screen, and then I'm just gonna 1, 2, 3, like I'm going to go ahead right now, and I'm going to like 25 posts. I'm just going to go down the news feed, and I'm going to like 25. Now I'm going to make sure I'm not liking like stuff that I shouldn't be liking, because that's not going to help you in the end. But okay, I'm going to. Now, if I notice this is a customer, or if I notice this is where you guys can get really good with your connecting at the same time. If I notice this is an advocate, I'm going to cheer her on. Also, if I notice it's a customer, I'm going to say, hey, how are you feeling today? I'm going to use the opportunity to help me check in at the same time. Or if it's a quote that I'm like, oh my gosh, I was just talking to this woman yesterday, and this quote would mean this would like, she would like this. And it's someone, maybe it's a prospect. I can share this to her. This Social on social media, really quick, let me like 25 also gives you super quick opportunities to connect in different ways that matter to people, and it's part of the know, like, trust process. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna like the first 25. I'm gonna give you 1 minute because that gives you a little bit of time if you do comment or do something, which that's not the intention, but if it's people you know or it triggers. So like this is Kiona, she's a new advocate, so I'm gonna like it and I'm gonna say, yes, girl, I see you. Just taking the opportunity. It's like when you're out and you see a woman at the grocery store and you're like, oh, I like that shirt, but you don't say it. You're taking the opportunity to say, hey, I like your shirt. And that does something, right? Go ahead. I hope you experience something. So I like this quote. I'm going to share it in my story. 2. Oh man, there's a lot of good ones to share today. Listen to this one. I free myself from the versions of me that I created in order to protect myself. That's a good one. I free myself from the versions of me that I created in order to protect myself. That's something I'm walking through right now. I'm at 13. Ooh, this is a good one too. 15. 16. I'm at 20. 21. Yeah. All right. So now we've done that. I'm going to go back up to the top and refresh it again. And then what I'll do here is I will comment on 10. So I'm going through liking, taking the opportunity to, if I know them, comment or share, whatever, but my main goal is the 25. Now I'm going to comment on 10. So now this is a little bit more intentional. And this whole thing should take you like 10 minutes, right? But maybe less if I can really do it in like 5. This gives you the chance to like cheer other people on with no intention. So I'm on number 5, just to give you an idea. Remember, a really great comment on something can also generate other people following you that's following that account. So this is not just building your algorithm either. It can also, if you're intentional, bring other connections. All right, I have 2 more. And my final one, my unhinged, less stress kids. All right. Now, the last thing I do to build my algorithm is I am going to watch 3 people's stories. Only 3. So if there's a certain 3 people that you are talking to as a prospect right now, strategically go to those 3 people. This is a chance for you to love on them for no reason and get them to know, like, and trust you. For me, I don't really have that great of a brain this often, so I just go to 3 people. But it's a great strategy if you can think ahead. It's also great to just cheer on your new advocates that you see. Okay, let me check and see what they're doing. So we're going to take a second to do that. And so you're watching them and then either hearting. I usually do a heart on one and a comment on another. All right. And now we have just been social on social media and helped our algorithm. Yay. You want to do follow-ups? Or
Yeah.
what do you think? Okay.
Yep. Let's do follow-ups. Because that just flows with like the conversations we've created. We've sent some new messages. And so now let's talk to the people that we've planted seeds with that we can try to close, because we're wanting to try to figure out like something that I always think and try to share with my new advocates and helping them to follow up, because it's almost like, how many times do I follow up and how do I leave it? And if I left my link, but they said they were going to order, but they haven't, like, it's just this weird thing. It's not weird, but it feels weird if you just don't ask the question. So my like perspective is always like, either they want my product or they don't. I need to figure out if they want it now or if they don't. And if they don't, that's fine. I'm exiting. Like, I mean, no offense, I love you where you are, but I'm exiting this conversation because I have energy to put into somebody else. So that's when you find out. So if you don't know if they want to order, but the link's been lingering and whatever, find out. Like the only way to know is be like, hey, just checking in. I hadn't seen your order go through. Like, I just wanted to see, like, do you want me to help you like place the order? And I think there's a sense of urgency that we can always put, not that there's any hurry at all, but I like to put it out there that like, if we order your stuff today, you'll have your stuff by like Friday, probably. Like that way you can get your like started on your products versus just like, cause then they're like, oh, okay, that would be great because like I have all this stuff coming up this weekend and like I could really use something to help me like balance, right? So like putting that seed there is helpful for people because they a lot of times want to get started, but believe it or not, they don't do it. So they just need our little boost to get them to kind of move sometimes, and that's literally just being direct, asking the question and asking how you can help them get started on their products. So let's do that for the next like 10. Okay.
So if you're kind of racking your brain and you've gone through and maybe you've done all of your follow-ups on the people that you had sent something to, I personally also will go back sometimes. My plan is to do this tomorrow. I have like a full hour set aside for this, where I'm going to go back to my posts and my reels where I've had all these people ask me to send them info, and I have, but maybe only 20% of them have responded. And I'm going to go back to them throughout the last couple weeks and just say, hey, I know I sent you some info a while back. I just wanted to touch base with you. I know I'm really busy and I sometimes open up a message and forget about it. So if it's not for you, cool. But if you just did what I normally do and forget about the message, I just wanted to check back in and see if you were still interested in watching or what questions you had. So it gives the ability, a lot of times I do that and people are like, oh my gosh, no, I meant to watch. You're right. I was at a light or I was in the line or whatever, and they're grateful for the reminder. If they don't answer again in a couple days or the next time I do follow-ups and I notice they didn't respond to me twice, I nicely let the conversation go. I message them again because I'm not worried about their response or lack of response, their thought or lack of thought. I'm worried about who I am and how I'm moving. So I will tell them, hey, I noticed that you wanted information. You messaged me on my reel. You wanted information and I gave you that. I also followed up, and I feel really weird if I follow up anymore because I don't want you to, I'm not sure if you're busy, but I really don't want you to feel like I, in any way, shape, or form, am pressuring you to look at anything. So I'm going to take a step back, but I'm so excited when you're ready to talk about this information. I'm here. I hope everything's going well, and I'll chat with you soon. Now, let's say I see that person in a grocery store, it's not awkward. Whereas if before, if I saw them in a grocery store, they're going to jump in the other aisle and hide from me, right? So you just always want to keep that clear, I believe. Sometimes I wish I wrote these things down because it really just comes out of my mouth. Okay, so can you share that verbiage for the follow-up, right? For the follow-up to the person who hasn't watched it yet.
No, to the person that's ignored you a couple times and you're blessing and releasing.
Yes.
That would be great.
Peace out, mofo. That's the verbiage.
Yep.
Okay, yes. Okay, I'll put it in the chat. Okay, I think it was something like that.
All right, you guys, we're gonna wrap it up. It's 1:01. Does anyone have any questions or anything they want to say? Be planning I'm really excited about this. We're doing a month end power hour next week, Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central, which will be super fun. I just think it will be so fun to like pack the house with sort of a party, close the month, work together kind of vibe. So I'm really excited about that. So mark your calendars for that. Would love to see you on that call. And I'm so grateful you guys got on here. And I felt like this was such a good, fun call.
Yes.
Thanks for hosting this.
Yes, and I'm going to give you homework. Never going to leave you on a call without homework. Okay, so what I want you guys to do is, whether it's now, if you have 5 minutes, or it's tonight, I want you to sit down and I want you to remember to identify what is the things in this work that is fun for you and you don't need to create the energy for, and strategically place that in your day. The things you need to have the energy for, like maybe this, where does that fit? So that's something you can kind of figure out as you go. The main homework is, when are your work blocks the rest of the week? When are you showing up tomorrow? The next day? Maybe it's only 10 minutes tomorrow. Maybe it's an hour the next day. Maybe it's 5 minutes and then 30 minutes the next day. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just consistently putting your energy out there in the best way you can and celebrating what you can do and trusting that you're always attracting what's meant for you. So homework for you, you don't have to show it to us. This is for you and your business. Make sure that you know your work blocks and your work hours. Treat it like a business so you get paid like a business for the rest of the week. And yes, Tabitha, I'm so excited. I don't know if I'm going to be on that last one, but my energy will be. I'll send it there. I'm going to try. Am I available that night? I said yes, right?
You said, because that was the one you were like, I'll run that one. And then I was like, okay. And then today was all jumbled with today's.
For
But
Tuesday the 30th.
I'm sorry, whatever the last day of the month is,
Tuesday the 30th.
that's the day. That's why I was confused.
10 a.m.
Lindsay, that's why I was confused, because yesterday was the Tuesday and we were going to do like back-to-back Tuesdays. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, it's fine. So next day.
You got it. All righty.
All right.
Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye.